Hello. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing on this Sunday? Really happy to be back here with you. And I'm so excited because it is literally the first day I'm able to read the live chat. Wow. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Okay, so I hope we're live. I don't know why it's not pulling in anyone from the chat right now. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. Hey, Dave. Thanks for being there. Okay. See, it's not showing me all of the chat. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Why is my chat doing that? Hold on a second. No, okay. We'll leave it. Sorry, guys. Just a little technical difficulty here. Hello, Zeph, Angeline, Big Rainbow Wizard, CB's daughter, John, Lady, Erzuli. Elevate your energy. Love that handle. All right, guys, I want to share some messages with you that have been really powerful for me. Some stuff that I've been kind of working on since the summer, but it's kind of amplified now. Some of it is for my personal reasons, but also it's the energies that are coming in. As you guys know, we're coming up to the Pleiadian Gateway this week, which happens, twice a year, once in May and once in November at the end of Scorpio season. And so we have a lunar eclipse happening on the Pleiadian Gateway. And I have been asked, or guided, I should say, to share some of this information with you to help you navigate some of the energies and also take advantage of what's kind of coming through. Again, for those of you in my alchemy program, we've got our live call in 2 hours. I'm going to go into much more detail about these eclipses with you and the astrological alignments. But what I kind of want to talk about today is this aspect of there's no more hiding happening here. And, we can kind of see this through the evolution of the last 18 months of how much has really come up to the surface, how much is truly being made aware to us through different aspects being exposed. And the truth is that I believe that we're all kind of being nudged, perhaps shoved. I think shoved is a much more accurate word, into more of our own understanding of truth. And when I say your truth within you, it's the truths within you that need to be unveiled, that have always been masked by pain, traumas, what do I want to say here? Unsupportive beliefs that aren't actually true, but the ego buys into because of all the past experiences you've had. So one of the messages that I want to relay to you as we head into this lunar eclipse, which is a partial lunar eclipse. However, it's the longest lunar eclipse we've ever had. And I think over 500 years. I think it's going to last for 10 hours. It is kind of bringing up a lot for us. So we're coming into the end of Scorpio season, and Scorpio season is all about, it is an intense month. It brings in a lot of intensity. It's about going deep into the subconscious, pulling up truths that have been buried for a long time. It's about revealing secrets. It's about really kind of getting to the heart of the matter, you can't kind of beat around the bush with the kind of Scorpio energy. And what we're being asked, I believe, right now, coming into this lunar eclipse, is that it's no longer feasible to hide from what is coming up within you. You're not, I shouldn't say you're not allowed, but it's not suggested that you continue to play small in all areas of your life. And we can see how much this has been a catalyst for us to not play small since the onset of March 2020. There are a lot of things that have come out through this whole experience that we've all been going through. And a lot of that has been pushing us to the edges of our comfortability, well beyond that and into the past the comfort zone, right? And we're being asked to really start to look at the areas of our life where we've been currently challenged and start to make real changes. So one of the things I want to share with you guys is, one of the beautiful things that's kind of happened through this kind of very slow healing process with my eyes is that I have been afforded a lot of time to turn my sight inward and start excavating things that I've been feeling kind of coming to the surface. And one of those things is with my inner child. And some of you in the alchemy program, very few of you, are aware because we had a live video chat about a month or so ago where I shared some details that are kind of coming up in my life that are very good. Like they're big changes, really big changes potentially. And I'm being pushed in that direction. And one of the things it's kind of been challenging, and I got to say there are other aspects in my life that I haven't really shared with anyone else other than very close friends, is there are things that are happening that are also pushing me into a very uncomfortable place where it feels scary at first, but it's forcing me to make changes that perhaps I should have made changes earlier, but I didn't. And it was because of this fear that I've discovered with my inner child. And, this fear is around this whole idea of no more hiding. There are things where I need to allow myself to expand and grow, which means I need to be more seen. And although there are parts of me, like consciously, that are totally okay with that, subconsciously, deep below the surface, there are parts of me that are not okay with that at all. And because I know that I'm being pushed this way, my guidance is letting me know that it's time to basically get on the horse and start riding this wave that is really kind of coming in fast. And I want to say too, before I get into what this inner child revelation was, is that you guys must be noticing that we are going through some major changes. There are a lot of things that have been coming up for us to face that we can deal with in increments, but perhaps we may be dealing with them in ways that feel comfortable to us, but it may be time to amp it up a little bit and go a little deeper and put the foot on the gas pedal down a little bit further. Okay? Because timelines are absolutely taking form from the higher perspective if you are doing your healing. I was talking to a girlfriend last night, and her and I had hung out before she moved very, very far away, like really far away, about as far away as you can imagine. Her and I were in very interesting spaces around the end of summer, early fall last year. And we were both in these really big transitory places in our life where certain things were falling apart, but also certain things were kind of coming together. And talking to her last night helped put in a lot of things into perspective that I had not realized how much of that future timeline, that higher timeline that I have been working towards is actually coming into play. Sometimes, you don't see all the progress that you've been making in your own healing journey, in how it relates to what is now actually manifesting in your physical life and how things are shifting and changing. And we both kind of were laughing last night because we realized, oh shit, that higher timeline that we were talking about, it's already here. It's happening. And the amount of changes both within her and I was really kind of remarkable to observe and acknowledge. And so I want to share this with you because it is so important right now to address what needs to be healed. Scorpio is a very much deep energy that promotes deep and intense healing. But not only that, we are at the Palladian gateway coming up. And the Palladian energy is very, very healing. So there is so much energy coming in through this portal, so to speak, or this gateway, that is helping to facilitate your healing in deeper ways so that you can start almost like reaching out and touching your reality, like seeing it manifest and having that all come together for you. The veil is going to be very thin this week, and it's going to get a lot thinner as we get towards the 19th, which is the lunar eclipse. So what's so interesting about the fact that I'm healing my sight and my eyes, okay, so that I can see things much better, much more clearly, much more sharply, is when I went into my inner child work. I sat with her and I'm like, okay, after the Kelly Thiebaud podcast, it's helped kind of direct a lot more of my attention into targeting the beliefs that are holding me back from the future that I want to create. And although I can see it creating right now, I'm also aware that there are self-sabotaging beliefs that could either slow it down or hijack it and take it off into the ditch, okay, which I don't want. I do not want. So I had to kind of really go into what is one of the, what are the beliefs that I'm still holding on to that want me to play small? And I realized the big one that came through for me was, if I'm seen, bad things will happen to me. And as many of you who've been on my channel for a while, I started a Raw and Real series in the end of 2019, where I took you through a literal live real-time healing process over the course of many months of me healing from sexual abuse as a child. And this idea of, I know my spirit as a child is very, or I want to say at times was very like bright and sunshiny and always wanting people to feel good. And I laughed a lot and I loved to play. And I feel there was a moment in time, which obviously was with this abuse, where a lot of that got dimmed. And I started to realize that my light or something around that, of just, that childhood spirit was attracting energy that created bad things happening to me. And of course, this belief, despite all of my conscious efforts to push myself past my comfort zone, to work really hard, to grow, to grow my podcast, to grow my business, to grow this channel, to reach more people, there is also an element here that's keeping me small. And I'm feeling like, well, maybe it's not good if I'm totally seen. Like, I'm comfortable with this right now. Like, I'm helping people. But I know from what my guidance has told me is that it's time to help more people. And in order to do that, I have to be ready to be seen at higher levels than I'm allowing right now. And so I had to have a conversation with my inner child. And I had to, sit her down on my lap in my mind and, tell her, that that was the case back then. But that belief from the past does not have to continue forward so that we keep recreating same experiences that will confirm that that belief is still true. And I said, if you look at what we've created so far, so for instance, my Raw and Real series, where I come on and I share with you very vulnerably and often, almost always, was in tears and showed you that really kind of vulnerable, broken side that is going through real-time healing. That in itself, I know, helped me connect with you and helped you connect with me. And I know that it helped me deepen how I help others heal in their own journey, because it creates a level of trust and safety, because you get to see something very real and raw that maybe, makes sense for you. And so I told her, like, that in itself is a huge success of us allowing us to be seen. And then I said, and look at all the relationships that, we have, when I'd send my friendships and, other relationships, where now they're a lot deeper and more meaningful because we allowed ourselves to be seen, and nothing bad has happened. In fact, really good things have happened. And so right in that moment, I realized I've got to flip the script. I've got to turn it into, when I am seen, good things happen to me. And so this has been like a profound shift for me in how I'm working with my own energy and healing, so that I can continue to move in the direction that things are moving in, that are aligning beautifully, and not have my subconscious, and wounding the wounded parts of the inner child, start self-sabotaging the future out of fear and lack of safety. So because the Palladian energy is very deeply feminine, there's a lot of healing energy here that's coming through. Also the moon, is very feminine energy. This is not a time to avoid the changes that you're being called to make. You really want to start being super proactive in your healing journey if this is something you've been putting off. And if this is something that you've really been good and carrying through, keep going deeper. Keep going deeper, because there is an ability to see something in this lunar eclipse that has not been so clear to you in the past. There's, full moons are all about illumination. And because the veil is going to be very thin, we're going to be able to have access to energies and also our past, what's hidden deep within us, with more ease, more availability. It's a really good time to do that. Now, remember that your reality literally depends on your healing. This is why I always discuss how important the healing journey is, that you don't avoid it, that you don't just listen to things that make you feel good or read things that make sense. You have to be proactive in your healing journey and excavating through your subconscious what really needs to come to the surface. What is it time to let go of? Because this partial full moon lunar eclipse is all about letting go. And there's a huge karmic component to this lunar eclipse where you're finally saying no more. We're also having a major axis shift, where we're going from the Gemini Sagittarius into the Taurus Scorpio. Now we're still in that transition phase because the solar eclipse is still in Sagittarius, because the South Node is still in Sagittarius. It'll then eventually move into Scorpio in the beginning of the year in 2022. So your future self, my future self, all of our future selves, are asking us to really dig deep and to step fully into our power. And in order to step into your power of creating a future that you truly want, that aligns with your own sovereignty, your truth, leading the way, in a way that is really supportive to your dreams, then we really need to do this. So one of the messages was just, it's time to stop playing games, with our future potential. And this is something that really kind of hit me, because even though I know, and I'm sure many of you are working on that, it's almost like we're being asked to really kind of level up even more. And it just seems like that's a theme from what we've been going through over the 2020 and now finishing off the 2021 year, is that, things are shifting, things are changing very rapidly. And it's just one crazy chaotic disaster right now in many ways. In other ways, it's beautiful. But the reason is because there's no holding back, because holding back is what got us into the situation that we're presently trying to get ourselves out of, just from a global perspective. But of course, that global perspective wouldn't exist if it wasn't on a personal perspective for all of us. So through the last eclipse axes of Gemini Sagittarius, which happened around May 2020, okay, the late May 2020, has created a very deep internal paradigm shift within us all. And that shift would be somewhat noticeable to you over the last 18 months. You would definitely have been noticing it. If you're listening to my podcast and this channel and other ones like it, you're pretty much tuned in to the fact that, yeah, there's been an internal paradigm shift within us all. And it's now coming to a point with the axis shift going into Taurus, where we're coming out of Gemini, because remember, the North Node was in Gemini, now it's moving into Taurus, and that's where a lot of where we're being challenged to go. Okay, it's moving from that mind communication into physical, tangible actions that are grounded in this reality, Taurus energy, stabilizing, getting it done, doing what needs to be done. Okay, and just doing the work. It's very Taurian energy. So it's time right now to start making very tough decisions that will lead you to actions that may not feel comfortable for you, but are very much needed, so that we can activate that higher timeline that each of us is creating for ourselves as we step more into our own beliefs of expanding our potential, okay, what we're truly capable of, and pulling out all of the subconscious beliefs that are self-sabotaging that potential. And so this reprogramming does take some time. I mean, it can go faster or it can go slower depending on your participation in it, and also how deeply entrenched you are in your belief systems that hold you back. Or it could move really fast if you're really ready to let go. And if you're in this place of releasing and you're good with that, that can really speed things up for you. So again, like I'm not going to go into a lot of the alignments about this lunar eclipse, because I'm saving that for my alchemy program. But, like working with some of you guys, doing your healing sessions that you've been booking with me, the inner child stuff has been kind of blowing me away with some of you. You've been doing incredible inner child work. And the shifts in your reality are very noticeable, not just to you, but to people very close to you in your immediate environment and surroundings that are very positively received. So again, the inner child healing can really help us get deep into what needs to be pulled up to the surface from very, very deep below. And it's just this idea where it's time, it's no longer feasible to play small. It's about really understanding what your power is, what you're capable of, what you're here to really do, and how you're here to shift the world in positive ways that will have ripple effects into the hearts of many. I think many of us that are on these missions to help the world become a better place and help humanity, ultimately, if we're going to leave a legacy behind, we are looking to leave a legacy behind that rests in the hearts of others. At least that's how I see it. For me, what I'm building, it's kind of more of an internal legacy that has to come through me. I have to do the healing, and I have to continuously do the healing in order to be able to, project that into my reality, which then can be shared with all of you and others, landing in their hearts, and then you guys doing your work, and you then passing that on to others, and your legacy lands in other people's hearts. And this is how you leave the imprints of a legacy that never dies. It's infinite. It makes changes even when you're gone. Okay. And so I think that's what we're all really being called to step up to, is to understand what legacies we're all leaving behind. But most importantly, first and foremost, that legacy has to be developed within you. Otherwise, it's inauthentic and it doesn't have the same power. So, I'm going to kind of step here into the chat. Do any of you guys have questions? And again, if anyone's new to the channel, if you need to book any sessions with me, whether they're readings or healings or coaching, all the links are in the description below. And of course, if you're interested in learning more about this or having a community that you can lean on, I really highly suggest joining my alchemy program for those of you who haven't yet tried it out. Marissa, Jesus, everyone is so cool here. Wish the world was like this chat. Oh, that's awesome. You guys are really awesome. Let me see here. Marion, this was actually what my husband and I were discussing just before you came on. Oh, look at that synchronicity. Isn't that amazing? I love that. Ali P, you have the keys. You just have to reframe the key to fit your hermetic seal. Love that. Jamie, this is excellent. I've been dreading getting back out there. Wounded child acting up. Gotta do it. Thanks. Yeah, it's, and it is scary. It is scary sometimes to go in there, especially if you have some darker trauma that you may not even know what it is. You just kind of feel like there's, so many times I work with you guys and you have no memories of your early childhood. It's been completely blocked out because it's been so traumatic. And there's a big fear of pulling it up to the surface. So I totally understand some of the fear and the hesitancy around that. But it truly is so rewarding to your own personal journey, and how that has a ripple effect into your reality, your relationships, what you start creating and manifesting for yourself. The happiness and joy that you're actually able to access. We don't even realize how much joy and love that we're actually able to access until we start doing these healings and go, oh, wow, this is like a whole new level of joy and love that I didn't even know I was missing out on, and that's so important. How long does this eclipse energies intensify for? Well, if it's the eclipse, I believe, is on Friday the 19th. So, you would start feeling it already just because the nodes are shifting, like the nodes shifted into Taurus. So that's a big transition. But the actual eclipse, you should start feeling it like tomorrow, Tuesday. And it will last again 3 or 4 days afterwards. So pretty much around a week, Suiterbug, the inner child work literally reprograms you and changes you like right now. It really does. It's quantum. It's like quantum leaps of healing that have just immediate results. Ancient rose water, I've been hiding from myself and my inner blocks have manifested, but it's there for my expansion. Yeah, and this is it. There's we are continuously looking for what else is hiding, and we can't allow things to hide any longer. You can do this journey. I think we're going to be doing this journey till we're 6 feet under, I don't think it truly really ends. I think you have moments of reprieve, you have moments of integration, but then there's times where, oh, okay, I'm being called to do more. And it's just because you've stepped up and said, you know what, I want to do more. And the more you do in this lifetime, the more you are releasing karmically as you go through this kind of, graduation of souls for this planet at this time. So it just, from what I understand, the kind of inheritance on a soul level that you receive from the deeper work that you do now, the rewards are quite extensive. So elevate your energy. Do these shifts explain cluster headaches some of us have been having lately? Yeah, if you're sometimes these headaches can come in through the different energies that are coming through the especially when you have like portals like the Pleiadian gateway, where the Earth, the Sun, and the Pleiades stars are completely in alignment. And, that brings the veil to be very thin so that you are feeling more than you would normally. So yes, this would definitely impact that. Melanie Taylor, how long is the wait to get a session? It's not that long, I have a lot of flexibility within my schedule, so I try to work with you guys as best as I can. So it's not that long. Annie, you don't remember much of your child, but some things are coming back though. Yeah. And here's the thing too. The more that you build trust and safety within yourself, and the more that you nurture yourself, the more likely you are going to be able to access some of those memories, because now you're creating a level of safety within you that wasn't there before. And it's that lack of safety that prevents a lot of the memories from coming back in. Also, the healing journey that, that I like to do with a lot of you is helping you get back in your body. When you've experienced trauma, okay. And again, trauma can range from like what you may perceive as not that big of a deal right now to the child that actually experienced it and perceived it very traumatic. Okay. So it ranges in all, and it's not to say that, we're here having like a competition of whose past is more traumatic. It's not that at all. It's understanding that the more you are able to get into your body, the more you are able to recall your memories. Your memories are stored in your consciousness, and your consciousness is in your cells. So as you start to recreate a healthier relationship with your body, and you start listening to your body, and you start having this beautiful, respectful relationship with your body, you'll be able to start accessing memories again. And so this is one of the big things, because when something bad happens to us, we instantly want to leave our bodies. So energetically, we're not really grounded. We're kind of out there more so. And we almost have this like, oh, being in my body's not safe. And so you can't access a lot of the memories. And so getting back into your body is a big part of it. Alfredo, great message, Nicole. This year I've been working on my shyness, and it's funny how just choosing a teacher job pushed me to practice my expression. That's so amazing. I used to be very shy, very, very shy as a kid. Astrologically, I chose to come in at a time where the things were lined up perfectly for me to be very hesitant to express myself, to be more shy, to not trust what I was saying. So I would never find the right words because I was hypercritical of myself, always thinking that people were, thinking I was stupid or unintelligent. And there were a lot of things that I had to heal from in order to get to this point in my life where, someone can hand me a microphone now and I have no problems talking and telling my story, or you give me a topic. I don't care what it is. I'll talk about it. It's, and I sometimes wonder if I'm making up for lost time, but, that healing can help you realize that all these things that you were kind of really scared of are your gifts. And Alfredo, I'm wondering if through this, teaching job that you've taken, are you starting to witness a new gift within you that has been hidden or buried because of insecurities around that expression? Because that's what we start to discover, is that when we start to not hide anymore, we also start to reveal some gifts that were being suppressed through those painful experiences or judgmental beliefs or limiting beliefs, that just weren't allowed or weren't able to be expressed. And so you start to realize, oh, wow, I actually do enjoy this. And oh, wow, it actually makes me feel good. And oh, wow, it's actually, benefiting others. This is just really cool. So that's awesome, Alfredo. Good for you. Elevate your energy. Is it possible to be outside your body while being conscious? Kind of sounds like what you're saying, but want to clarify. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's just you're not fully grounded. So you're not grounding the energies through your body into here, which is exactly why you came into this lifetime and all lifetimes before, is so that you can help be a conduit of your energy, your conscious awareness, how it's developing, pulling more energy in, and then grounding that energy and that healing through into the earth. That's so important. That's what your body is able to do for you here. You can't do that when you're not in a body. So, very important. The body is incredible technology. Oh, is Keystone here in the channel? What are some reasons why someone can try a lot of healing techniques, yet nothing seems to work? That's a great question, Rob. I would say that, first of all, not all healing techniques are made to help certain people. That's why there's certain things that work for others and they don't work for others. So work for some, not for others. There may be some kind of block within you that is not allowing yourself to fully trust in the healing experience or, kind of lean into it. That can happen, where you're just not open to it. You consciously might be, but unconsciously or subconsciously, you may not be. And there could be some particular blocks around what that is. So, if that's the case, you would want to kind of use your own intuition, close your eyes, tune into your body. And, let's just say it was Reiki was one of the healing modalities that you use and it wasn't useful to you. Why wasn't it useful to you? Ask your body. Why didn't we not respond to this? Why didn't it work? And you might be surprised at what answers your body tells you. When I went to go get my eye surgery, there were a couple things that were made known to me the morning of when they were dilating my eyes, 5 hours before my surgery. And they basically just dropped a bomb on me, at least my perception of a bomb, of like what I thought I was getting, I wasn't getting. And everything had to change. And they just thought it was normal, but I didn't know. And I was freaked out. And, I conferred with some of you guys in the alchemy room, like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, should I do the surgery? Because now I'm not sure. And, what I did was I just kind of went into meditation and I grounded my energy. I tuned into my breath, and then I fell into my heart space and I said, body, what do you want? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to go through with the surgery, or do you want me to wait? And I kind of felt into it. And when the difference in my heart between the two options was, there was more lightness in my heart when I said, let's do the surgery. And then I heard my eyes literally say to me, we're exhausted. We need to rest. Like, we need a break. And I know that because my eyesight has been not great for a while, I've been constantly straining to see. I mean, you guys have seen how much I'm trying to like squint at the screen when I do the tarot readings, and my computer's a little bit further away. And, it's just been a constant strain. And so I was like, okay, you want this, we're doing it. So like tuning into your body, this is another reason why you want to be in your body, because you can get a lot of really intelligent answers from your actual body on what to do. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it here, and because I've got the alchemy call coming up in almost an hour, and I'm excited to be there with you guys. So just, I may come back on later this week with a Palladian message if one comes through around if there's any other messages around the lunar eclipse. So just be on the lookout for that if I do. And then this Tuesday, I've got my podcast, and I'm bringing on Zoe Davenport, and we're going to be talking about portals of potential. Okay, so it's kind of really perfect timing for the message that I just delivered today. So you'll definitely want to tune into that podcast. Join us in the live. It'll be live. I'll be live with her. And we'll also take questions from you in the live chat. Okay. And again, if you need to book a session with me, all of those links are in the description below. I'd be absolutely honored to be witness to your journey. And guys, I love you so much. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and beginning of your Monday for those of you on the other side of the world. I love you guys.